Hello and welcome to the Gig at the Gathering Unplugged. In this session, we're going to be talking to Trail West. I'm absolutely delighted to have founding member Ian Smith joining us all the way from Tyree. But before I catch up with Ian about what the band have been up to, let's hear one of their tracks. Hello, Ian. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Iona. How's yourself?
I'm good, thank you. It's really nice to see you, even though it's a bit odd on a screen and not in the park bar or something. But
Yeah,
it's nice to
exactly. Well,
have
I
you
can
on.
get used to it now. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Well, Ian, thank you so much for giving up your time, to come on and speak about Trail West and, of course, Killaloe Highland Gathering. Of course, as you know, this would have been the weekend that we've all been enjoying live music on the gig at the gathering at the moment, but. Obviously, with the current circumstances, things can't be helped. So it's nice to be able to connect with yourself and hear about what Trail West have been up to as well. So I think probably a good starting point, Ian, would be if you can just tell us a bit of background about Trail West.
Yeah, so Trail West started, well, we started in 2008 and it was a full Tyree lineup. It was all friends of mine, and we decided to set up a band, and we called it Trail West. But then in 2010, the lineup changed, and Shawnee McIntyre and Alan Campbell joined the band. And that was when we really kind of started making a good go at doing it more professionally. Before, it was all just a bit of fun going around the islands, playing a few tunes, playing a few drams. I think we actually played at Cowell in, it might have been 2010, it might have been 2009, I can't remember exactly. Anyway, and yeah, so we decided to give it a good go from then onwards. So this year would have in fact been the 10th anniversary of us kind of going, I suppose, what would be known as professional, if you could call it that. So this is going to be a big year for the band, but unfortunately, as with the gig at the gathering and all the various events, COVID 19's put a dampener on that. So this year has probably actually been our worst since we started, which is pretty soul destroying. But I think usually we average about 120 gigs a year, and I think this year we're lucky if we've done 15 or even done 10 yet,
Wow.
and then six still hanging on in the diary, but I think we'll be lucky to get them. But anyway, that's just the
Okay.
way it is just now.
Okay, no, it's such difficult times for for everyone, but especially musicians at the moment. And as you said, you're used to probably being up and down the country, just now all over the place in the islands and doing the festivals. So must be very very odd just to be at home instead.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's the first time I've actually spent more than. Well, usually I travel. I moved back to Tyree last year, but before that, I hadn't spent longer than probably 2 or 3 weeks on the island consistently. Since I was about 14 or 15 before Trail West started, and I've been
Yeah.
here since March. So I've really enjoyed it. We've had some great weather, plenty to do in the island in the summer, especially as things opened up. But yeah, really missing seeing my friends in the mainland and in all the other islands, and even just getting a wee bit of crack with folk. But hopefully, it won't be too long, and we'll be back
Oh,
to some sort of normality.
okay, I know, and how have the bands, managed to stay connected? Because anyway, you're already a wee bit, spread out with, yourself and Tyree and a lot of the boys in Glasgow. But you managed to stay in touch during this time.
Well, in a way, we haven't been speaking too much together, which is probably a good thing because we're really busy, as I was saying, and we're up and down the roads all the time. We're kind of sometimes you do get a wee bit fed up with each other's company. But so over the whole lockdown, I've spent a lot of time with Alan Campbell because me and Alan work at home in Tyree, and yeah, kept in touch with others when we've needed to, really. But kind of starting to miss them now, I suppose, and can't wait to get us all back together for a tune and a dram.
Okay, I'm sure, yes, a dram, exactly. You will miss all their crack. But okay, it is just such the real time. But of course, you've been yourself and your brother Bernie have been keeping us all entertained in lockdown on a Sunday night with some Facebook Live sessions. They were great. It's so good.
Yeah, yeah, we enjoyed doing them. It kind of started off as it was I can't remember the first one we did was a lovely night in Tyree, and we just decided to do a wee live. We'd had a few drams ourselves, and we just sat the camera outside, and the sunset was going down in the background, and folk just seemed to love it. So we decided we'd do it kind of fortnightly from then on. And then as things got kind of really dire, when there was no way out for musicians, we decided to set up a kind of donations, or not a donations, a kind of
Mhm.
tip jar thing, that a few other musicians we saw were doing, and we made a wee bit of money from it. So it just made them worthwhile. But then we didn't really want to take too much money, and we made a nice wee bit. And we thought that's nice. We'll kind of stop it here as things started opening up again. But I think there might be scope for doing the odd one here and then, if the time allows it, and things stay kind of shut for a wee while yet.
Okay, it was great. Well, I know our family here in Dunoon really enjoyed it. We'd tune in a Sunday and have a few drams ourselves, listening to you both and hearing all your nonsense. So yeah, but it was okay, it was great and a nice a nice way to stay connected as well because everyone's missing live music so much at these times and great to hear so many traditional tunes as well and songs. So and that's something about Trail West. You're obviously very much got your roots at heart of the band, and although the band's evolved in recent years and you're maybe a more contemporary sound in a way now, but it's clearly very important to you all to have that traditional bit at the forefront of it.
Yeah, certainly, and that's exactly just touching back on what you said about myself and Bernie's gigs. We wanted to try and replicate a kind of session, like an informal session in one of the island bars, when the tunes were were allowed in pubs, and yeah, the whole idea was it was not to be anything formal, and just a bit of crack, and that's kind of what we do with Trail West. We're obviously it's on a more formal level, but the whole idea is that it was quite true to our roots in terms of the tunes we choose and the songs we choose, and yes, we've got the odd one that isn't very traditional, but it all just works really well, and it's a good mix. It's more of a kind of a party atmosphere, is what we try and do with Trail West, and so that's probably one of the things I'm missing most is the kind of bigger gigs. Like one of our 10th anniversary gigs was meant to be the Barrowlands this year, which was sold out, and we're all really buzzing for that. And unfortunately, we've had to cancel it. So things like that you do miss, and you'll never get that replicated from playing to a phone or playing to a computer. So you miss it.
Oh, absolutely. Just the feedback from the crowd. It must be amazing when you're playing at festivals and, hearing them singing back to you, jumping about. I know I've been in there myself with my Trail West headband and
Yeah.
it's always a great performance, but probably the less said about that, the better actually. But
Brilliant.
oh, but anyway, and then you mentioned there the Barrowlands. Obviously, as you said, gearing up for a big 10-year celebration, and of course, like so many things that COVID-19 has impacted. So, what are your sort of, obviously that's all been turned on its head this year, but are you hoping to sort of go ahead next year with the plans?
Yeah, well, we've managed to rebook the Barrowlands for the 18th of September next year, and most of the festivals we were scheduled to do this year seem to be inquiring about next year. So what we've just very kind of early stages of like next year's tour is going to be 10 years of Trail West plus one kind of thing, or 10 years plus one of just trying to make a bit of a. It's not obviously it's not a jokey situation for a lot of folk, but we've all been
No.
fairly healthy, and it's just this year's everybody's just the same. So I think the only way we can really carry on is by putting a light-hearted spin on it from our point of view, and
Yeah.
hopefully next year will be even bigger and better. Fingers crossed, of course, because we don't know what's going to happen. It might be that next year's
Okay, no.
completely out the window too, but really hoping that's not going to happen.
Okay, no. Well, I'm sure it'll be worth the wait whenever it is. But fingers crossed, things will be more normal next year, and you'll get back out performing, and of course get your proper celebration for 10 years. I was trying to think the first time I actually saw Trail West. I think it was back in Tidy Music Festival, probably 2012 or 2013 when it was still in Antala.
Yeah,
And I just remember people swinging from the sort of wooden beams, and it was like a great introduction to the band.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that
So, but
very well. We actually got a row for that, for riling the crowd up. Too busy in the hall.
oh,
A great memory. Great memory.
oh, yeah. I mean, you've done so many gigs over the years, as you've said. You must have amazing memories and seen so many places. And was it recently you actually counted up how many gigs you'd done since you started?
Yeah, I think it was actually
Was it?
was that the start of lockdown? I think we did that. We decided to. I'd kept a list of all the gigs over the years, and then I kind of fell by the wayside. But luckily, we started using a proper calendar about 2016, so we all had it all scheduled at home. So I think Shawnee went back and counted them all up, and I can't remember. I think it was about 1100.
Oh,
So I mean, a lot of them were smaller gigs as the band kind of grew, and now we're kind of only doing bigger stuff and dances, and I mean, and kind of festivals, and even we've had the odd trip abroad, but most of it's been in Scotland, and it's been great because we've got some great friends throughout country, even in Dunoon and all the islands and all about. So it's great to have that. That's probably the most important thing, apart from the music, is the people you meet in the job and the friends you make for life, and it's quite cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's such a great scene, as we both know, and you're all such a great characters as well in the band, and of course you've expanded. We spoke before you started off just four of you, and now and of course you've recently introduced. Well, I'm saying recently, it's probably been a wee while now, but Alan Nairn and Jonathan Gillespie as well.
Yeah, that's right. So that was kind of, we were trying to, when we were looking at a 10th anniversary, we thought the kind of main changing point in the band was when Shawnee McIntyre and Alan Campbell joined, because Shawnee kind of brought the vocals to the band. But then now looking at it, I think it was probably about 2 or 3 years ago that Jonathan and Alan first played with us, and then they eventually officially joined the band. I think it was probably about 2 years ago, and having them has just really kind of made it exciting for us again. It really brings the sound of the band up, and I think if we manage another 10 years, I think that'll be a crucial kind of turning point in the band's kind of outlook when we've got those two to join. They're great crack as well, so it's really fun to tour with them. But the sound they help us produce, it takes you back to kind of really enjoying it, and yeah, looking forward to getting a tune with them again soon.
Oh, absolutely. I'll be looking forward to seeing you all again soon. But just now I wondered, and I know you're in tidy, so I thought you might have a box handy, Ian. So
Yeah,
if you wouldn't mind, if you've got one there, giving us a wee tune at the moment.
yeah. Any requests? Any requests at all, Iona? I'll play a wee jig or two. See if that'll.
That was brilliant. Thank you, Ian. It was nice to hear you in the box again.
No problem at all. Thank you.
It was great. Oh, really, really good. And of course, the band. That was a wee taster. If anyone's not heard Trail West before, obviously not. You've not got your whole entourage, but you've got 3 albums now. You've got out. If anyone's interested in purchasing.
Yep, we've got three, and we were pretty much 3/4 of the way through finishing our fourth just before lockdown. So hopefully that'll
Oh,
be available by the end of the year as well. We'll see.
oh, that'll be very exciting. Very much look forward to that. And of course, we've talked, a lot about your work with the band, but you've also got another job in over in Tidey, and yourself and Alan as well run the distillery there. So you tell us a wee bit about Tidey Gin and what you've been
Yeah,
up to with that as well.
yeah. So we've actually had a very busy lockdown because, well, especially at the start, I think everybody was just sitting at home and ordering booze and just trying to make the most of the situation. So we're really busy at the start. We're still continue to be, well, we're busier now actually because the island's busy. But yeah, we myself
Yeah.
and Alan started Tidy Gin a good couple of years ago now, and just last year we set up Tidy's first distillery in 217 years. So it's a good venture, and we're really glad that we had it over lockdown because the distillery's right next door to my house. So thankfully, I've been able to keep up production and keep work going despite the restrictions of Corona. So yeah, if it wasn't for that, I think I'd literally be doing absolutely nothing. So thanks, that's kept me going, and yeah, it's been really good. So the island, as I say, the island's really busy. We just released a new pink gin, a new pink gin brand. Actually, it's slightly different from Tidy Gin. It's a Hebridean pink gin, and that's been going really well as well. So all in, we've been pretty busy.
Brilliant, and it's great stuff. I've even actually got a bottle here. I should have poured a dram for our chat this evening, but I'll definitely pour one after. But
Brilliant.
if anyone's listening in, it's a fantastic gin, and I'm excited actually to try your Hebridean pink gin. I've not tried that yet, so I'll need to get a bottle. But I'm
Yeah,
assuming you can order online, Ian. Is it on the
yeah.
website?
Yeah, so it's you can order from the Tidy Gin website. We've also got a separate Hebridean Pink Gin website. So the reviews have been really good. So that was our main worry. We wanted to make sure we produced something that folk were enjoying and that something that people in Tidy could be proud of with both gins, and they seem to be. So it's we're really pleased. And aye, I'll sort you out with a bottle soon enough. Don't worry.
Oh, I look forward to it. And okay, as you say, it's about the island over there as well. I'm sure it's fantastic for many islanders to be proud of their own gin and be able to sample it and talk about it wherever they go. So I'm
Yeah,
sure many people with a connection to Tidy will look forward to trying it if they've not already. But
hopefully.
Ian, of course, we're on tonight about Cowell Gathering. It would have been what would have been the weekend this weekend, and you've played at Cowell quite a few times now, and it's been great watching the band evolve through the years, and Cowell itself has evolved from the early days in the Cayley tent and right through to the gig at the Gathering now, which is the more sort of festival vibe. And I think it was 2018 that you headlined that. So do you enjoy playing the gig yourself?
Oh, brilliant! That's what I was actually going to. I was thinking back to, as I said, I think it was either 2009 or 2010 was the first time we played at Cowell, and that was probably one of the best reactions we had in the early days of playing. We just loved it, like the reaction
Yeah.
from all the people that were watching us, and it was one of the biggest kind of crowds we'd played to. So then to be getting the opportunity to kind of headline the gig at the Gathering was another fantastic opportunity. It kind of took us back to the early days, and yeah, just really enjoy playing at Cowell, and love playing in Dunoon as well. Just the crowds are always great. So we actually played just before Christmas with Skiddyvore in the Queen's Hall, and it was a great
Oh,
crowd.
yeah.
So yeah, great place to play.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think a Dunoon crowd definitely love Trail West and seem to love all the tiny bands actually here. A strong connection with a lot of people, which is great. And if there been any sort of standout memory for you at Cowell, I know you've probably got loads of maybe slightly blurred memories from gigs over the years, but is there?
Yeah, I mean, there's some good memories. There's a few cracking memories that are no, I could tell them. They're not, but they're kind of inside jokes. And one of the ones we still use today was a joke about window at Cowell, but I'm not even going to bother trying to explain it. But oh no, just what was I'm trying to think. There was one gig we really, as I say, that first one was really good, and I think there was one when Donald Black was playing, and I think the same year, I think Bine Lee were playing as well. And this was on the Saturday after we'd played on the Friday night at the gig, and it was. I just remember standing at the side of the stage, the sun was shining, had a few beers, and just sitting there listening to some great music. So I think that's the kind of the memory that kind of springs to mind right enough. Alongside that first ever gig in the Cayley tent, that was really good fun as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's been fantastic. I actually thought you were going to mention there when yourself and Ben Lee, played at the gig together, and we did a big finale set, and it was
Yeah.
fantastic to have both bands, finishing the night. And I think one of your band members got quite carried away, and I think thought he was a bit of a rock star, and just remember Alan, the bass guitar player, absolutely launching his guitar on the stage at the end of the night, and it was just a brilliant moment to watch, and just watching your face, actually, yourself and Shawnee just look at him and sort of disbelief of what he was doing.
Yeah, that was certainly another highlight when what had happened was we'd obviously finished our gig and we knew we had to do a finale, but at that point, the finales are always a wee bit roppach, as they say in Gaelic, which means a wee bit kind of rough. They're always put together. So I think because we'd finished our own gig, Alan was letting off a bit of steam. He decided to have a few drams backstage, and by the time he went on, he did a few, and he was obviously, as you say, feeling like a rock star, and decided to throw his guitar on the stage. Great, because I think that it was actually not in film, so it's great to see, great to watch it back.
I know. Well, hopefully we can show that video and everyone can look out for it. But as you say, it just really summed up what a great night that was, and the atmosphere, and just seeing all the musicians on stage getting on so well with each other, and just creating that really nice vibe. It was a brilliant night.
Yeah.
So Ian, thank you so much. It's been so lovely to see you again and hear from you and get a tune from you as well. So really appreciate you coming on. On behalf of Cow, just a big thank you for giving up your time. And we hope that Trail West will be back to Cow very, very soon. And I don't know how many years you'll have formed as a band then, but we'll look forward to welcoming you back when that is.
And yeah, thanks very much. Great to see you too. Thank you.